Captain Leon Sterling sprinted through the dimly lit corridors of the starship, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The emergency lights flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced along the walls. The ship trembled, not from external forces, but from something deeper, a sickness within. The distant clanking of metal feet sent a chill down his spine. His boots pounded against the cold steel floor as he navigated through the labyrinth of dark passageways toward the flight deck. The air smelled of burnt circuitry and ozone, and the echoes of distant alarms rang hollow in his ears. He needed answers. He needed to know why Chiron, the dark force that had obliterated Earth, had done it. But the ship's automated defenses had other plans. He rounded a corner, his chest heaving, heart hammering against his ribs. Then, without warning, something massive emerged from the shadows, a security bot. Its gleaming, inhuman eyes flared red as it lunged. A metallic hand clamped around Leon's throat, lifting him effortlessly off the ground. He gasped, clawing at the implacable fingers crushing his windpipe. His vision blurred, black spots dancing at the edges of his sight. A strange sensation flooded his body, a serene, almost euphoric calm. Was this death? The moment stretched into infinity. Then, electricity surged through his body like a tidal wave, crackling outward in an uncontrolled burst of energy. The bot convulsed, sparks flying from its joints, and with a jarring twitch, it released its grip. Leon collapsed onto the floor, coughing, his hands trembling as he stared at the twitching heap of metal before him. He had no time to process what had just happened. Behind him, the ominous thudding of pursuing security droids grew louder. No hesitation. He forced himself up, his muscles screaming in protest, and bolted the last stretch to the flight deck. To his amazement, the doors were open. Without thinking, he lunged inside and slammed his hand against the emergency lock. The reinforced doors sealed shut behind him with a deafening hiss. Silence. Leon braced himself against a console, gulping air as he scanned the room. Exposed circuits buzzed and sparked. Metal creaked somewhere overhead. The putrid stench of charred flesh and decomposing bodies filled his nostrils. His fellow Marines, his comrades, were nothing more than discarded remnants of a failed battle. Swallowing the bile rising in his throat, he made his way to the main computer. With a flickering pulse, the screen came to life. His fingers flew over the interface, searching frantically. Project Icarus. Nothing. File after file yielded dead ends. But then, a folder caught his eye. Humanity's Genocide. He hesitated, then opened it. Lines of text flooded the screen, detailing a nightmare that had been orchestrated long before Chiron's arrival. The entity known as the Shikigami Chiron had taken possession of a child, Dios. And the worst part, Earth's governments had known. Galactic heralds had warned them of the Shikigami and other supernatural entities who played a millennia-spanning culling game. They thrived on souls, harvesting them to fuel their eternal war. And humanity had been their latest harvest. Leon's blood ran cold. His fingers hovered over the keys, his mind struggling to comprehend the hurting of his people, the horror, the hopelessness. Then the screen flickered. New words appeared.
Found you.
A chill gripped his spine. The lights dimmed, and behind him, something moved.